We're going to explain why you might see the error, Google Maps. Map is not a constructor in your Angular 16 project and how to fix it. This error typically pops up when you're trying to use the Google Maps JavaScript API within your Angular application, but something's preventing your code from properly accessing or using the google.maps.Map class. The root cause is almost always related to how you're loading and initializing the Google Maps API. Let's break down the common problems and solutions. 1. Missing or incorrect API. Key. The most frequent culprit is a missing or incorrectly configured Google Maps API key. Before you even attempt to use the Google Maps API in your Angular code, you need to obtain an API key from the Google Cloud Console. Ensure that you've enabled the Maps JavaScript API in your project's Google Cloud Platform settings. Then, correctly incorporate your API key into your Angular application. Don't forget to restrict your API key appropriately to avoid unnecessary usage costs. 2. Incorrect API. Loading. Angular needs to know when the Google Maps API is fully loaded before attempting to create a map. This loading happens asynchronously. You shouldn't just try to create a new Google Maps map immediately in your component. Instead, use a mechanism to detect when the API is ready. This often involves a callback function within the google.maps.Event. Add DOM listener method. This function will execute after the Maps API is loaded, and the map can then be properly initialized. Failing to do this can lead to Google Maps. Map is not a constructor, because the Google Maps map object hasn't been defined yet. 3. Incorrect import statements. Make sure you're not accidentally importing the wrong modules or inadvertently shadowing the Google Maps namespace. Double-check your import statements to ensure that they're accurately pointing to the correct Google Maps API modules. Sometimes a simple typo or incorrect path can cause unexpected behavior. 4. Asynchronous loading and promises. Modern Angular applications heavily rely on asynchronous operations. The Google Maps API loading is asynchronous. Effectively handle the asynchronous nature of the API loading using promises or async, await to guarantee the API is ready before you use it. Using a promise or async await allows your Angular component to wait for the Google Maps API to fully load before proceeding with map creation, preventing the error. 5. Global variable conflicts. In rare cases, conflicts with other global variables might interfere with the proper initialization of the Google Maps API. Review your code for any potential naming conflicts that could shadow the Google object or its properties. To summarize, fix this error by first ensuring you have a valid API key, then correctly load the API asynchronously using promises or async, await and wait until the API is fully loaded before you create your map. Correct imports and avoiding namespace conflicts are also crucial points to examine. Remember to consult the official Google Maps JavaScript API documentation for the most up-to-date best practices.